Hi guys, Vivian here again for the rcMart RX-7 build. As you can see, I've assembled quite a bit of the car already. I'm not going to record all of that because it really takes a bit of time fitting everything, but after sanding all the parts nice and smooth and getting everything ready, we're ready to pre-mock up the body to make sure everything fits, and so I can start drawing the design on what I want to do on it. I've also cut out the bumper and the bonnet vents, as you can see. So what I did there was exactly the same as what I do with the wheel arches. So I marked it out and I scored with the blade all over, especially these vents. I scored it at least 3 or 4 times because I know it's a very small area and it's really thick normally on top of the bonnet, so it tends to tear easy. And then after I've scored it nicely right in the corners, I like to push my blade through at least one side and a second side. Then what I like to do is take a little screwdriver and start pushing that edge in all the way, and then just keep pushing it. Put your hand through on the inside and pull it to the inside, and it makes a pretty decent cut. The same with the bumpers. I marked it on with the blade, with the koki, and then with the blade I just scored it all the way around 2 or 3 times. And the same thing again, just push your blade through in the corner, push it in and pull it. The same as what you did with the wheel arches, you just do it there. I should have kept one maybe to show you guys. Unfortunately, while I had a bit of time, I did a little bit more work on it than I wanted to without recording any of that. But what I want to do is still show you guys. And as you can see here, I used some magnets holding the front down while I was putting screws in, because I don't want it to move or anything when I put the screws in. But what I want to do is show you guys as well just a little bit of assembly. So I got some of these. These are the M1 precision screws. They are extremely small. I'm just using them for mock-up because they make a smaller hole and they just look more scale. So with this kit from Addiction, it's actually everything lines up pretty nicely. So there's not a lot of guessing if this is right. They have marks for everything that make sure that you line the side skirts up and line the wheel arches up and all of that. So what I'm doing is I'm pinching the side skirt between my fingers so it doesn't move too much. Also, what I want to show you guys is this exact tool that holds your X-Acto blade. I use to put in a 1mm drill bit if I use the 1.2mm precision screws. Or on my Dremel, I've got a 0.8mm, because obviously I'm using a 1mm now, so you want the hole to be smaller. So your screw has a very nice tight fit when you screw it in, otherwise the screws will just pull out. So what I normally do is I'm just going to use the Dremel and I line it up. And on the Addiction kit, they got these little dots everywhere to show you exactly where to drill. So I'm just obviously in between your fingers, not on your finger itself. I'm just going to drill a little hole right through like that. And watch out when drilling, guys. Believe me, I have drilled my fingers more than enough times in all my body builds, and it's really painful. You'll feel it for a few days afterwards, so it's not fun at all. So I'm just gonna screw this one in. That one, just gonna hold that one down. There we go. And then the one I drilled down. We'll talk about these screwdrivers just now, because I have a few guys asking me about where to get these screwdrivers from, because some of the guys are struggling to get screwdrivers for these precision screws. I mean, this one I just got from a local hardware store. It's got 4 or 5 different bits in it, a really small precision Phillips screwdriver for the screws. So that's what I use, and I like to leave them on my magnets as well, so it magnetizes the tip, and it helps with picking up the screws and holding the screw when you have to put it in. Otherwise the screws keep falling out and it's difficult to hold on to, and it gets quite frustrating because these screws are so small. So I have pre-drilled this one, but the same thing, as you can see here, the addiction kit's got a very nice indicating line for where your arch needs to sit. So it's not like it's a big guessing game. It fits in there exactly. So I have pre-drilled this one as to not have the video take so long as what the previous ones did, like 12 minutes. But thank you for everybody for watching that video. In any case, I really appreciate it. It's just a little bit of insight on how I do things. Everybody obviously does it differently. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. If I can help anybody avoid a costly mistake on a very expensive shell, or even a guy running on a low budget, just if my school fees that I've paid previously can help you save a little bit of money, I'm happy to do that. I like to use these magnets when holding it down. Obviously on the wheel arch it's difficult because it's on an angle, so it's not going to hold it down nicely. So if you really want to, you can always tape it down. You can always get some, let me grab it here, it's right at the end. You can always just grab some masking tape when you want to put it on. Just take the tape it on there 2 or 3 places, leave some space for your screws, drill it, put a screw in, and you know it doesn't move from where you want it to stay. Luckily with the front part there's quite enough space for magnets. So I put magnets on there. As you can see, as well, I'm starting to design. I'm still not sure what I want to do, but I've got something in mind with a bit of a honeycomb pattern in it. So I'm busy with that. This shell from rcMart that I got from Addiction, that's been made by Addiction, is extremely detailed, highly detailed shell. The only down point I have on the shell is it's extremely wide at the back, the total opposite of what we want for drifting. But the front is really nice at 200, but the back is all the way out to 208 millimeters, which is a pretty. She's fat, okay. She's pretty fat at the back, but it's a very nice looking car. I mean, I think this car is gonna look real good. It's got 3 or 4 different options in the headlights you can use. Closed cover ones, ones with intakes, the half open-eyed ones. So yeah, I'm really excited to get cracking on it more. I hope you guys could find any information helpful. Like I said, I like to pre-mock up the body to do the design, make sure everything fits up and lines up nicely. Everything looks good. Then we will head to paint from there. As soon as I've got the design done, I'll disassemble this whole car again, and we'll start the video on painting and such. Thank you for watching, guys. Till the next video, it's Vivian for rcMart and the RX-7 FD build. Cheers.